Hi everyone, it's Maggie with the Fthroughs team here, and I've been getting so many phone calls and questions from clients and friends about how the coronavirus epidemic is impacting the real estate market. So we really appreciate being your go-to for this sort of information. And I think since we've been selling Orange County real estate since 1972, which is at this point nearly 50 years, we've seen a lot of things in the market. So I think we might have some things to say. So what I'd like to do is first of all talk about how the coronavirus is impacting the market. Second, what the Fthroughs team is doing and not doing. And third, what you might want to do. So first of all, whenever I think about what's going on in the market, I always focus on supply and demand. It takes all the emotion out of it, and we can just look seriously at really the real data. So right now, the supply is incredibly light, very slim. And what I'm hoping is that maybe this situation might prompt some people who would normally be waiting to the summertime to list, to go ahead and list now, hopefully loosen a little bit of the tight supply. And this really is the ideal time of the year. You can look year after year, it's very consistent. The spring market is superior for sellers to the summer market. So even though a lot of people wait for summer, spring is definitely the best. So we're still looking at extremely tight supply, and it'd be great if we had some more listings. So by all means, refer all your friends who need to list their home. But really the X factor with all of this stuff is the demand. Some people think that the demand might spike because there's a movement to get your money out of the stock market and into real estate. Some people think it might drop because people are adopting a sort of wait and see attitude. Some people think it'll be the same or maybe even a little bit higher because the interest rates are going crazy low. I mean, at this point, they are absolutely at the world's record low since they've ever been recording interest rates. So I thought maybe that might be a factor to keeping the demand stable at a very high level. So just before I made this video, I reached out to Stephen Thomas of Reports on Housing. He supplies us with our economic data, and I was on pins and needles to hear what he had to say. We do get the data every 2 weeks, but I wanted to have an updated number just so I could give you up to the minute information. And according to his statistics, demand is staying just as solid as it was 2 weeks ago. So that's fantastic news. As of this moment, it doesn't look like we're having a huge impact from the coronavirus. Some anecdotes from our personal business. We had a property go on the market last weekend. By Wednesday, we had it in escrow, multiple offers, cash buyers, and it ended up selling for double digits over the asking price. So after we put that property in escrow, we continued to get phone calls from the sign. People saying, oh, I really wanted to see that neighborhood, and is it still available? And, there just was not another house to show them. That was really the only one in the entire neighborhood for sale. So I just anecdotes from my personal experience, it looks like demand is still really high. And from what we can see from the seller's point of view, still a great time to be on the market. So, and that escrow is moving along just fine. We're getting the disclosures over to the buyer, and their money was already secure, not in the stock market. So we're not having any difficulty on that particular transaction. And the rest of our escrows are all moving along smoothly. So that's good news from our personal experience. The other thing is that the fundamentals in the market are extremely strong. If you compare this to 2007, people are like, oh no, maybe it's gonna be a precipitous drop. But in 2007, the fundamentals just were not what they are today. The loans that have been made for the past 5 years and continue to be made are excellent quality loans, sometimes really challenging to get qualified. So the only people getting loans are the ones who really should be. And the equity positions, when people are making offers all of our listings are seeing huge down payments being victorious. Now you can get a loan with 3.5% down, so I don't want to discourage you if you don't have a massive amount of cash, but it does bode well for the overall market that the majority of buyers for the past recent years have been very high equity positions. If not all cash or 50% down, at least 20 have been the majority. So certainly there are 3.5% loans, and definitely you should speak to your favorite lender about getting qualified if you want to make a move, especially with the interest rates the way they are. So that's kind of my angle. The up to the minute information is we really haven't seen an impact from the coronavirus hysteria yet. But let's not talk next about what the Fthroughs team is doing and not doing. So first of all, we are following the CDC's recommendations, and we're going to postpone our quarterly client get-together. We love to spend time with our clients. We have a very deep connection, almost like family, with our clients, and we had a casino night scheduled, but we are postponing that. So this is your notice. I'll be making a lot of phone calls this week to make sure everybody gets the information, but we are not canceling it. All of our vendors have been very fantastic about just holding our deposits pending the new date. So we will be setting up the casino night soon. But as for now, I think it's a good idea, not because of hysteria. I truly am not afraid of getting the coronavirus. I'm healthy, I'm youngish, and but the way I look at it is every time I reach for a light switch, every time I reach for a doorknob, every time I reach for a gas pump, now I'm resetting the clock on 14 days to see if I'm going to get sick from whatever it is. And during those 14 days, maybe I could give it to my father, maybe I could give it to my mother, maybe I could give it to someone who's in our client family who's immunocompromised or elderly. So anyway, we decided to err in the favor of caution and to postpone, but we will definitely be having it soon. So the next thing we want to do is the Fthroughs team is really, really staying on top of the market news. Not only are we taking in the data from our own experience and scientific data, just the numbers from reports on housing and all the other economic sources that we use, but we're also networking both statewide and nationwide with a number of real estate agents who are our special colleagues that we love to refer business to. And we're literally talking almost on a daily basis. So I know how things are going on in Denver, how things are going on in Dallas, how things are going on in Houston, how things are going on in Miami. I've got connections in all of those places, actually almost all of the 50 states. So if you're thinking of making a move to another state, or if you have rental property in another state, you're thinking about divesting, by all means, give me a call and give me a chance to connect you with one of these agents, one of these teams that will treat you the same way that the Fthroughs team, putting your best interest ahead of their own and looking out for you like family in the very long term. So I would love to make some of those introductions. By all means, give me a call. But that is one of the resources we're using to keep track of how the coronavirus is impacting on a day-to-day basis throughout the country. Another thing that the Fthroughs team is doing is we're going to be doing some business as usual posts. So when you see those things on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I don't want you to think that, oh, that Fthroughs team, they've got their head in the sand and they're ignoring the news. We really aren't doing that. What we'd like to do is just provide informative messages. Hopefully the things we're posting can be productive, positive, and try to evoke a sense of calm to just keep everybody focusing on the future and staying collected in these times of uncertainty. So you will see some business as usual posts from us. We are still making offers, we're processing escrows, we're marketing listings, and you will see all of those things. And I just want you to know that behind that is just our desire to put forth a regular, everyday message that everybody can keep cool and focus on the future when this epidemic will be under control. All right. So the last question is, what should you do? If you're thinking about making a move or not thinking about making a move, the advice that I always give to clients when they're talking to me about timing the market and this event and that event and the interest rates and what should I do, my question always is, are you right now living in the home that you could live in for the next 10 years? If you say to yourself, well, let's see, I really would rather not have stairs. I have stairs now, and I think by 2030, 10 years from now, do I still want to have stairs in the house where I live? Do I want to upsize? Do I want to keep renting until 2030? The question you should ask yourself is, are you where you want to be for the next 10 years? Because if there's going to be a real estate cycle, you're going to be 10 years wherever you are. So if you say to yourself, yeah, I really probably would like to be somewhere other than where I am now. I'd like to upsize, I'd like to downsize, I'd like to change my lifestyle. By all means, now is the time to make a move. You cannot get better than these interest rates. And really the bottom line is that if you say to yourself, I might like to be somewhere else by 2030, then please give me a call, text me. Let's come up with it. Help me understand what your goals are, your ultimate goals. Our team can customize a plan for you, whether it be a move right away, a move in 3 years. We'll look at your capital gains. We'll look at your property tax situation. We will take it all into account, and we will we will structure a plan to get you where you want to be. So all the information is very personal. It's very customized. And whatever the big news is, really what matters is where do you personally want to be, and what steps can we devise to get you there. So by all means, reach out, give us a call. If you're not planning to move, great. If you need any contractors or referrals of any kind, we can talk to you about remodels that'll bring you the best return on investments for the day when you do eventually sell. Whatever those little bits of advice, anything you need for your home, by all means, give me a call. And because I have a little bit of extra time on my hands without my casino night party to plan and set up for, I would love to provide you with any kind of service that you might need. If you need a grocery pickup, if you have kids that are supposed to be in school and while you're working you can't figure it out, I would love to be there for you. I'd love to help take care of your kids, shuttle your kids, get you some groceries. If you know of somebody who's in need, by all means, just reach out to me. And there's nothing that brings me greater joy than to be of service to you and to possibly bring my Creator some glory in the process. So even more than that, if you ever wanted to just talk to somebody about what really matters, the things that really matter, I would love to be a resource for you. I would love to have those conversations. And, who knows, maybe I could share with you the eternal perspective that gives my family peace. So anyway, I hope you're going to have a great week. I know it's a week of a lot of changes, but hang in there. And like I said, just give me a call if you need a word of encouragement. Have a great week.